I've watched coaches that have struggled with their marriage because maybe it's the coach's fault, maybe it's the wife's fault, maybe it's together. But I know that Brandy and I have been able to do it because it's our mission field.
Hey Coaches Call listeners, this is Libby Pacheco, COO of the THSCA Education Foundation. We want to thank those of you who showed up to coaching school this past summer. With 18,706 in attendance, we demolished the previous attendance record. Now, we need your help spreading the word of the advantages of being a THSCA member. Coaches have until October 15th to take advantage of the early bird membership fee of $70. Talk to a coach on your campus who might not know about THSCA and let them know about the many benefits we offer our members. We hope you have a great start to the school year. Good luck and stay safe.
Did you know that you can use podcasting to not only share the great news about your athletes and your programs, but as a fundraiser for your booster club? Yes, Lone Star Gridiron produced the 5th podcast in history and has been doing it nearly 20 years. We are expanding now to do shows outside of football. So whatever your sport, reach out to us at 713-269-4620 and we'll discuss how you can use this amazing tool to supercharge your program. And the best part, we do all the heavy lifting. Text your name and school to 713-269-4620. Welcome back to the Coach's Call. I'm Chris Daly, and I am joined today with two very special guests, Bryan Wood and Brandy Wood. Bryan, you're offensive coordinator at Wayland Baptist, right?
Yes, sir.
But you're also highly involved with the R.O.C.K mentoring program.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk about marriage and how that, I guess, plays an important role as it comes to coaching, right?
Right. Yeah, we just, Brandy and I kind of feel led to, in the recent years, just to be able to share what we've gone through in our 30 years and the R.O.C.K program being part of that, and just overall how important the Coaches Association is to me as a coach, and the Wives Association to Brandy as well.
Right. Well, let's dig into that. I mean, we were talking a little bit before we started rolling that any coach that's been around for a while knows without a doubt the importance of that relationship, having that their significant other be committed to this whole thing too. So where do you want to start tackling this issue?
Yeah, it's a big topic. We've done it for 33 years together, and so there's no way to hit on all of it. I think that I'll reference what we talked to our R.O.C mentees about is every time I get to talk to them, I give them my spiel, and it's 3 points for your young coach, and it's make sure you're in a place that you can be loyal to, save some money over the years, and make sure you marry right. And then I spend time talking about the marriage just because I've watched coaches that have struggled with their marriage because maybe it's the coach's fault, maybe it's the wife's fault, maybe it's together. But I know that Brandy and I have been able to do it because it's our mission field, and she understood what it took and the time commitment that I had to put into it to be successful. And that may be the base part, and then you can go as far as to how many necks she hugged when they came off the field, how many goodie bags and locker signs and pep rallies, and I mean it goes on and on and on. That what we've been able to accomplish is and I don't know how you would. I think sometimes that I see a single guy or just someone that's not supported like I am. I don't know how they do it. I just know when I got home, Brandy wasn't going to be mad at me because I'd been gone all day. She understood the commitment to it, and she's been a teacher coach her whole life too. So that's probably why it works so good, is that she understands it as well. But it's a team effort for sure.
I wouldn't say I wasn't ever mad about it.
Let's be honest. Right?
Definitely had our moments, but yes, it is a time. It is a lot of time away from home, and I think you just have to invest in the mission with him, and that's kind of what I embraced a long time ago. So
I love that. And you both mentioned the word mission. Talk about that aspect of it, because it is more. You mentioned young coaches. Young coaches come out and it's about winning games and it's about X's and O's. But explain the mission portion.
Well, I just think, especially in today's world, I think it's harder to coach now than it ever has been. Just because our education system's not, I don't believe it's as strong as it was 30 years ago when I got into it. Discipline's different. What you're asked to do in the classroom's different. I think the young coaches have more to deal with than we did. But I also know that if you're going to go to work at 5 or 6 in the morning and you're not going to go home till 7 or 8 at night, and you're doing that, you're not doing that just to win games. You're doing that because you love kids.
Right.
And the good Lord said this is where you're going to make a difference. And we just finished 31 years in public education, and I never wanted to do anything different. Wasn't always smooth and perfect, and there's peaks and valleys just like there is in everything. But I wanted to help kids, and coming to coach's school, you get we went to the Hall of Honor banquet the other night, and you get to listen to them interview kids about that coach and other coaches about that coach, and that's what it's about. Is that you're leaving a legacy of helping kids grow, and it's just such a big deal because we get to go to weddings and get phone calls about new babies, and I don't know, there's just something about 18, 25, 30-year-old kid you coach coming and hugging your neck and saying, "I love you, coach." Yeah. I mean, if that's not a mission field, I don't know what it is.
I love it. And you mentioned earlier you have to have the right spouse. You have to pick the right one. I'm sure it's a lot more than that, though, because like with athletics, you don't just pick the right field. You have to work.
Yeah.
So talk about that, the fact that this isn't just, oh, I've got a winner, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, we knew what we were high school sweethearts, so this is probably a little unfair to somebody that meets in after they graduated college or whatever. But we knew going through college what we were going into education. I was born and raised in a coach's house, and I knew that's what I was going to do. She knew she was going to teach and coach, and so we understood. I knew the commitment because I watched my mom and dad do it. It was probably harder for Brandy because she's raised on a farm and she knew the farm life, and so I don't think either one of us completely knew what we were getting into, but I know she did. So I might let her speak to that as far as what that entails.
I think that it's a give and take, and I think that's probably why I invested so much early on. Of course, I did coach to begin with, so we were both busy and both gone and both investing in our kids that we had. Then we had children, so that changes things a little bit. But I think I figured out real fast that if I wanted to see him and wanted to be in that world, then I had to devote my life to what his mission was as well. So we do date nights. We make sure we have date nights. He co-parented with me. I wasn't a single parent, but I definitely had to do the bulk of it. I was not one to say, "Wait till your father gets home," because I wasn't real sure when that would be, and it needed to be taken care of right then. So, I did on that side of things. I took over, but he's always been supportive of my goals and my dreams also, and so it's a balance, and it is work. Yeah. It's not always easy, for sure, but it's something that we thrive in. It's our world. We love it.
Right.
And I think she said that there's just selflessness there, as far as she said she committed to my mission, and real quick it became ours, one of so we just moved and are going to try this small college football gig, and I keep telling people, they ask me what I'm most nervous about, and it's what's the first time I hadn't been the boss in 24 years, right? But so I'll learn that role. But Brandy and I have always done this together. Like every program that we have built or been thrown into is that we went at it together. There was never. It scares me not to do it without her, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And it'll be not that she won't be involved, but it's not like a high school football program, where we raise them from when they're junior high up into high school. And I just think that goes back to our mission deal. But I love her because of what she said a while ago. It's just she was just selfless, and she wanted us to win a football game and wanted to love kids, and most of them call her the real Coach Wood anyway. Right. That's where we're at in life.
It is true. I've tried to get a headset for years.
Nice. Have you noticed, though, that schools at every level, it seems, are more focused on family? Because Baylor's a great example. They want you to bring your kids up there. They want you to bring your spouse up there. Yeah. Have you seen that changing?
I think you see it in the more successful programs.
Right.
I mean, when I listen to guys talk about culture and family and all that, these are guys that are winning ball games and winning kids. And I was just talking to a coach earlier today he said, man, I love the character development stuff that you post and that you talk about. And my answer was, how do you do it without that? How do you not teach character and teach family and try to get everybody in the locker room on the same page? And I don't understand how folks don't do it that way. I mean, my coaching family, I just left Burnett, and our Burnett coaching staff and the group of kids we had this year is probably, it's for sure one of the most special groups I've been part of, because you could hug a guy, two grown men hugging necks saying I love you, kids telling coaches, kids telling kids. That's why you're able to sustain and win, because you created that atmosphere. And if you're not intentional with it, it just doesn't happen, and it makes it tough to win.
Definitely. And getting back to successful marriage as a coach, we've talked theory. You've got to get somebody who buys in. You've got to get support back and forth. Give me some specifics. When the rubber hits the road, what are some things that have to happen?
Well, you got to fight. Sometimes you're fighting. We won't sit in the room and act like we got this perfect marriage that was always good. We had some knockdown dragouts, and some of it was about coaching and things that go on in the coaching world and in the community. And so we've been in the valleys, and we've been on the peaks too. And I just think that the older you get, the more you understand each other. So I would say that nuts and bolts of it are that you have to grow. Your marriage has to grow, and your life can't revolve around a win or a loss. And that's hard for a young coach. I used to bring that home. I'd bring home some losses. Not that I ever quit doing it, but I understood that when I got home that I had another job to do, and that was to be a good husband and a good dad, best I could be. And so I think that advice for the young coach, especially a head coach, is that don't take it home with you. And that's easy for me to sit at this desk and say. But, I think I'm giving Brandy time to think about her answer on this, but I want to tell a quick story just because it's one of my proud, and just made me feel really, really good. I was a head coach in Pampa in 2005, and I think at the time our record, we were 1-4 or 1-3. We weren't very good. I just got there and got home one night. It was about 6:30, and I had a son that was 6, 5. He was 5 because he would have turned 6 later. But I got home and I was dead dog tired, and season wasn't going good. And Colby and I went out in the front yard and played catch with a little Nerf football. And did that for about 30 minutes. And I didn't really want to do it. I was tired, but I did it because I wanted to be around my kid. And he was so excited when I got home, and so I did all that, and I never did really even think anything about it. And the very next week, I was doing a radio show with the guy, and he said, "Coach, I want to bring up something. I drove by your house the other night at 6:30, and I saw you playing catch with your son, and that means a lot to me. I want you to know that." And, it's the same radio guy probably mad at me because we weren't winning games, you know. But the point of it is that we were getting our tails kicked, and it wasn't going the way we wanted it to go. But because I got seen out in the front yard playing catch with my kid, somebody noticed that. That meant a lot to me. I haven't even told that guy that. But it was important to me, and I appreciate it. I guess I'll let Brandy answer.
What are some specifics that you've had to do?
I typically just have to say I'm fine. And he usually knows that I'm not fine. And so I just think the communication piece is very important. Like it is, it's no different than any other marriage. We just invest a lot of time in other people's children, and so we had to remember to invest in our children and take them with us, and we had to remember to invest in our marriage. But I'll be honest with you, there was a period of time there that we kind of forgot to invest in our marriage, and it showed. And so that's when we started doing the date nights, and I just feel like, I don't know, the fighting thing, I think it's just part, you say fighting, but you have to be able to express your feelings, and you have to be able to let him know that you have to remind him gently that he's a husband also and a father, and it's a lot of responsibility for him, and I try to give him some grace on that. But as far as like when him coming home from winning and losing, I think part of the thing that makes our relationship special is that I love football.
That's true.
And so I want to talk about it, and I want to recap things. So he doesn't hardly ever bring it up, but I'll start talking, and I'll mention a specific play he ran or something like that, so we can have true football conversations. Obviously not at the level that his coaches have, but I think that's why ours is unique, is because I really do love it. I love seeing them grow. I love what he can get kids to, how he can get them to perform above what they normally would, and how he builds community. And I love going alongside that and building community also. So
I think too that as she's saying all that, is that as a young coach's wife, like if I was, not that any young coach's wife would want an old guy's advice about how to do it, but I know Brandy heard a lot of stuff sitting in the bleachers, you know, where the critics are experts. She got to read some of the emails that I got, that they would accidentally choose the wrong email, you know, and send it to her, and just lots of stuff. I know that a coach's wife has to let it roll off of them. And I know there's a lot that she knows that she didn't even tell me. She protected me. And I think that that's the importance of, I would do the same for her, but the importance of a young head coach's wife or any coach's wife, protecting them when you really want to defend and argue, by just not letting it bother you, knowing that you're the coach's wife, and it just comes with the territory. And while it will sometimes seem personal, most of the time it's just the competitiveness of a crazy parent or fan that just ought to be quiet but isn't, you know.
I mean, he did have to tell me to sit down one time.
I love that. So when you're talking to young coaches about this subject, what's the reception there? Is it just like, yeah, okay, whatever? Or do you find that they're really interested in this info?
Well, a little bit of both, but I was, as I mentioned, Brandy and I want to do our own little podcast that this is the mission. I want it to be important to them. I want them to hear what we have to say, and don't have all the answers. I can't give them a game plan for it. I just think that if you're in the coaching world and you have fallen in love with someone who's not a coach, that she just don't get in a hurry and make sure that everybody, that she understands, if the guy's the coach, that she understands that here's the time commitment and there's not one thing I can do about it, but you're going to get my best when I'm going to be my best wherever I'm at. And now in our R.O.C.K program, we have a number of young ladies in there. And so now I'm talking to them, but you're going to marry a guy. He's got to understand the same thing. And he may be worse at it than a lady is. I don't know. Yeah. I just know this, that it takes what it takes. Yeah. I tell our coaches that stuff all the time in game planning, if it takes us 2 hours to game plan, it takes us 2 hours. If it takes us 24, that's what it takes. But we're going to be ready to go. And I just think that that's how you are in life. If you're good at stuff, it takes what it takes. I mean, you're sitting in here all day doing this. I mean, it takes what it takes, right?
Right.
So, that's...
I think they also, something that they don't realize when they're getting into it is how this is a profession that everybody sees the results. There's not many professions out there that you're front lines to everybody. And everybody can see when you win, and everybody can see when you lose. Everybody can see when you get upset and go after the refs, or when you are not, you call a timeout and it's, why'd you call a timeout? They're judging everything about that. And I don't think that sometimes women don't get that side of it, for sure. They might get the time, they'd be okay with the time, but then your husband's job is being critiqued all the time. Every game, every practice, every play, every time management call, just the whole thing. So that's something I don't think that they take into consideration often.
And the only way that time is the only thing that makes you better at that. I mean, I can think back to when she was young. She would tell me stuff, and it was written on her that something was said, and it was bothering her. So I would ask her, and she would tell me. And I can't. I mean, for the last 10 years, we don't even talk about what was hollered at me or what was said. I mean, you just do your best, and people are going to be critics, and they can holler it or type it to the world, whatever. You just do the best you can, and I just think that's why it's so important to have a good spouse that loves what you do.
I love that. And how about, a phrase I've heard many times is grow where you're planted. And I take that to mean where you're at right now, be there. Okay? And so talk about the difference between during the season and then maybe during the summer, when you should have a little more time.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that it kind of goes back to what I said a while ago, is whatever you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. So when we go on vacation, I'm really good at that. I mean, I like doing it. When we go to the lake, I'm good at the lake. We go on dates, I'm good at dates.
And nobody's there.
That's my feeling. That's my
judge you on that one either.
I'm just, when off season and you have a chance to do things that can refresh you and revive you. I mean, we've been down at coaching school here for 3 days, which has been out, when I'm not working, we're hanging out, and that's awesome. And I think that it's really important. She talked about date nights. We didn't start doing that except for 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. We just made Wednesday night. When I got home from practice, we were going to drive from Shallow Water into Lubbock, and we were going to go eat supper somewhere. And we did it every Wednesday night, and we haven't stopped. And that was intentional, and it helped us. And I just think that we went for our entire careers. We wanted to go to a coaches outreach marriage retreat, and I just never made it work. I had the time to do it. I just didn't make it work. We went to our first one this past summer. And I was mad that I haven't been going for 30 years.
That's
and
great.
So
it really is great.
I just think you never quit getting better and quit getting, your marriage is getting stronger. I think I'm a better coach than I've ever been. I feel like we're just growing. It's not stale, and
but also the off season for us isn't off season.
Right.
We go to basketball games. We go to baseball games. We go. We start planning the things we're going to do in the summer. Our coaches, our summer kickoff thing. We start planning that. I mean, we truly it is our livelihood. People ask me all the time, what's your hobby? And it's like, my hobby is supporting kids. That's what my hobby is. It's kind of sad, but it's also great. And it's what we do. So off season, it might not be as many hours, but I guess we get to do it together, though. We go to the games together
we spend a lot
and
of time
things like that.
on the road.
And we load our kids up and take them. And we just hopefully taught them how to support a community and all community, just so.
And I think head coach, Brandy, one of Brandy's best traits is the ability to take a group of coaches' wives and bond them.
Nice. That's huge.
It's huge because now they get to watch how she handles some of the stuff that's not easy to handle. She loves them, they love her, and so we would, an example would be last summer we went on a coaches retreat. All the guys went on a coaches retreat down to the river near Junction, and Brandy and all the coaches' wives went on a coaches' wives retreat to Fredericksburg and spent a couple of nights. And so, but after games fellowships and team building activities, and it's our world. Like she's really good at building that group. I feel like I'm pretty good at building other groups, and because we have the same abilities, strengths, that we end up meeting together, and it creates a whole lot of fun for sure.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Brandy and Bryan. I was looking at the wrong one. Mr. and Mrs. Wood, thank you. Excuse me. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and sharing some of what I think is some of the most important things you can learn as a coach.
Yes, sir. We appreciate the time.
Yeah, for sure.
It was fun visiting with you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
The interviews in this show are brought to you by the Texas High School Coaches Association. THSCA provides to its more than 26,000 members access to the people, events, tools, and resources to help them thrive in the profession, become trusted leaders in their communities, and live balanced and successful lives. The work and sacrifice coaches do every day is vital to the development and success of student athletes. The THSCA supports these efforts. We fight for every coach, provide them with the connections and resources to improve their lives, and help all student athletes throughout the state enjoy lasting success. The mission statement is simply this: to help and serve Texas high school coaches as they work to help and serve student athletes. Helping coaches help kids. For more information on the THSCA, visit www.thsca.com. Hey, of course, I want to thank our guest, but I also want to thank you. I want to thank you for giving me what I consider the most valuable thing you can give, your time and your attention. And I know you don't do it to hear me. You hear it for the great messages provided by the THSCA. And hey, if you'd like to associate your company with the THSCA and the Coach's Call podcast, limited sponsorship opportunities are available. You can reach out to me, Chris Daly, 713-269-4620, or head over to my website, freshmediaworks.com. Once again, thank you so much for supporting Texas high school coaches. Please share this show out to everybody you can so that we can help share these important messages. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time on The Coach's Call.